You say, you talk about Muhammad Ali got beat by an 8-0 fighter. That 8-0 fighter was an Olympian who was a monster.
Roy Jones Jr. was arguably the most talented boxer of his generation. His speed, power, and reflexes were simply unmatched during his prime years. Roy dominated opponents effortlessly, making elite fighters look like amateurs. But behind that incredible talent lived a fighter who never forgot disrespect or betrayal. Jones carried grudges against those who wronged him personally or professionally. Roy's confidence bordered on arrogance because he knew his abilities were extraordinary. He demanded recognition and respect from everyone in boxing. When opponents questioned his greatness or used dirty tactics, Jones remembered every slight. Some rivalries developed from controversial decisions. Others emerged from personal insults and promotional disputes that turned nasty quickly. The 10 boxers we're counting down today earned Roy Jones Jr.'s genuine hatred. They challenged his legacy, disrespected his achievements, or caused damage that affected his career permanently. These weren't friendly competitive rivalries. They were bitter feuds filled with anger, resentment, and lasting animosity that never disappeared completely. Number 10. Richard Hall. Richard Hall caused Roy Jones Jr. significant frustration through his defensive style. Hall was extremely difficult to hit cleanly using constant movement and evasive tactics. He refused to engage in exciting exchanges, preferring to survive rather than truly compete. Jones wanted to showcase his brilliant skills against willing opponents. Hall made that impossible by running and holding throughout their entire fight. The boring tactical approach frustrated Jones immensely during the bout. He couldn't display his full arsenal because Hall wouldn't stand and fight. Fans booed the lackluster action, blaming both fighters. But Jones felt Hall deserved all the criticism for turning their fight into an unwatchable mess. Hall's only strategy was avoiding punishment. After winning, Jones expressed disgust with Hall's cowardly performance. He believed Hall disrespected boxing fans who paid to see action. Hall showed no remorse, claiming he fought smart. Jones viewed Hall as someone who wasted everyone's time. Fighting opponents who refused to engage properly diminished Jones's ability to shine brilliantly. Number 9. Montel Griffin. Montel Griffin handed Roy Jones Jr. his first professional defeat through a disqualification controversy. During their initial fight, Jones was dominating completely. He knocked Griffin down and continued hitting him while Griffin had a knee touching the canvas. The referee disqualified Jones for the illegal blow. Griffin won despite being thoroughly beaten and outclassed throughout. The disqualification infuriated Jones, who felt the stoppage was premature and unjustified. Griffin celebrated the victory like he earned it legitimately through skill. He acted as though he defeated Jones fairly rather than winning on a technicality. Griffin gave interviews claiming he exposed weaknesses in Jones's game. This dishonest narrative enraged Roy. Their rematch proved Jones's superiority conclusively when he knocked Griffin out viciously. But Griffin refused to acknowledge Jones's clear dominance. He continued making excuses, claiming the first fight proved he could compete equally. Jones hated Griffin for benefiting from technicality and acting accomplished. Number 8. Antonio Tarver. Antonio Tarver developed into one of Roy Jones Jr.'s most bitter rivals. Tarver constantly claimed he didn't receive proper respect despite his accomplishments. He targeted Jones specifically as the person preventing him from getting recognition. Tarver demanded fights with Roy while making disrespectful comments about his fading skills. The constant challenges and insults created genuine animosity between them. Their first fight was extremely close, with Jones winning a controversial majority decision. Tarver felt robbed and immediately demanded a rematch. He claimed the decision was a gift from biased judges, protecting Jones's reputation. Tarver's complaints gained media attention, creating narratives that Jones was declining rapidly. These stories damaged Roy's legacy significantly. The rematch was devastating when Tarver knocked Jones out brutally. The knockout became one of boxing's most replayed moments. Tarver celebrated excessively, claiming he exposed Jones as overrated. He showed no class or respect toward Jones's incredible career. Jones felt disrespected by Tarver's attitude and constant trash-talking throughout. Number 7. Glenn Johnson. Glenn Johnson inflicted another devastating knockout on Roy Jones Jr. during his decline. Johnson was a heavy-handed puncher known for brutal power. He caught Jones perfectly, landing a crushing right hand that sent Roy crashing unconsciously. The knockout was terrifying to witness, with Jones lying motionless on the canvas. Johnson showed little concern for Roy's well-being, celebrating immediately. The loss was particularly damaging because it confirmed Jones was no longer invincible. Johnson made comments afterward suggesting Jones was never as great as people believed. He claimed Roy succeeded only because he fought weak competition during his prime years. Johnson tried diminishing Jones's legacy to elevate his own career. Jones felt Johnson showed no respect for what he represented to boxing. A true professional would have acknowledged Jones's greatness while accepting victory humbly. Instead, Johnson used the knockout to attack Roy's entire career retrospectively. Johnson continued making negative comments about Jones long after their fight ended. Number 6. James Toney. James Toney and Roy Jones Jr. developed a rivalry based on mutual disrespect. Toney constantly claimed he was the superior boxer with better fundamental skills. He criticized Jones's unorthodox style, calling it flashy but ineffective against elite opposition. Toney believed his classical boxing technique made him the true pound-for-pound king. These claims infuriated Jones, who achieved far more success. Their rivalry intensified through media interviews, where both men traded insults regularly. Toney called Jones overrated and protected by favorable matchmaking. Jones fired back, claiming Toney was jealous and washed up. The verbal warfare continued for years, without them ever fighting each other. Both men wanted the fight, but negotiations always failed. Toney's comments about Jones fighting weak opposition particularly angered Roy. Jones dominated the best available competition during his prime, earning universal praise. Jones believed Toney was bitter about never achieving the same commercial success. Toney had tremendous skills, but lacked Jones's marketability and crossover appeal completely. Number 5. Bernard Hopkins. Bernard Hopkins represented everything Roy Jones Jr. disliked about modern boxing politics. Hopkins was a master manipulator who controlled narratives and promotional advantages brilliantly. He positioned himself as the real champion while Jones fought in different weight classes. Hopkins made comments suggesting Jones avoided fighting him because he was scared. These accusations damaged Roy's reputation significantly. Their rivalry intensified when both men were at their peaks. Hopkins constantly challenged Jones publicly while making disrespectful statements. He claimed Jones's accomplishments were meaningless because he never faced Hopkins. This revisionist history ignores that Hopkins initially avoided the fight when both were younger. Hopkins rewrote history to make himself the victim. Hopkins used political connections and promotional power to control media narratives effectively. He portrayed Jones as the villain who ducked challenges. These lies frustrated Jones immensely because casual fans believed Hopkins's manufactured stories. Jones resented Hopkins for using dirty tactics outside the ring. Number 4. Joe Calzaghe. Joe Calzaghe defeated Roy Jones Jr. in a fight that felt deeply unfair. Jones was clearly past his prime when they finally met. Calzaghe was still sharp and at his physical peak. The matchup was designed to favor Calzaghe from the beginning. Jones felt pressured into taking the fight for financial reasons, despite knowing he was diminished. Calzaghe dominated the fight using his superior speed and conditioning against a faded Jones. After winning, Calzaghe made comments suggesting he beat Jones at his best. He refused to acknowledge that Roy was a shell of his former self. Calzaghe tried using the victory to claim he was greater than Prime Jones. The disrespect after the fight infuriated Jones completely. Calzaghe knew he fought a diminished opponent, but pretended otherwise. Jones believed Calzaghe was a coward who waited until he was shot before accepting the challenge. A real champion would have fought Jones during his prime years. Number 3. Denis Lebedev. Denis Lebedev gave Roy Jones Jr. one of his most humiliating defeats late in his career. Lebedev knocked Jones down multiple times during their cruiserweight fight. The beating was brutal and difficult to watch. Jones was clearly finished as an elite fighter but continued competing anyway. Lebedev showed no mercy, continuing to punish Jones throughout the contest. After the fight, Lebedev made dismissive comments about Jones's reputation and legacy. He suggested Roy was never as great as people claimed. Lebedev used the victory to build his own profile while disrespecting Jones's incredible achievements. He showed no gratitude for the opportunity to fight a legend. Jones felt Lebedev was disrespectful and ungrateful for the exposure their fight provided. Fighting Jones gave Lebedev international recognition he never had previously. Lebedev represented the new generation of fighters who showed no respect for boxing history. He treated Jones like just another opponent rather than a legendary champion. The two. Enzo Maccarinelli. Enzo Maccarinelli fought Roy Jones Jr. when Roy was clearly past his prime and struggling. Maccarinelli knocked Jones down and won a decision that added to Roy's late career humiliation. After winning, Maccarinelli made comments suggesting he proved Jones was overrated throughout his career. He refused to acknowledge he fought a completely diminished version of Jones. Maccarinelli used the victory to claim legitimacy he never truly earned. Fighting a shot, Jones didn't prove anything except opportunism. Maccarinelli acted like defeating a legend at any age validated his own career. This dishonest narrative infuriated Jones, who knew the truth about his condition during their fight. The disrespect shown by Maccarinelli after the fight was particularly galling. He showed no class or acknowledgement of Jones's incredible prime years. Jones hated fighters who took advantage of his decline to build their own reputations. Maccarinelli waited until Jones was vulnerable before seeking the fight. Number 1, Park Si-hun. Park Si-hun didn't defeat Roy Jones Jr. through skill or superior boxing. He won Jones's Olympic gold medal through one of history's most corrupt decisions. Jones absolutely dominated their Olympic final fight. He landed over 3 times as many punches as Park. Every objective observer scored the fight overwhelmingly for Jones. Yet the judges awarded Park a shocking decision. The robbery devastated Jones, who had his Olympic dreams stolen blatantly. Park accepted the gold medal despite knowing he didn't earn it legitimately. He showed no remorse or acknowledgement that injustice occurred. Park celebrated while Jones dealt with heartbreak and disbelief. The corruption was eventually admitted by officials, but the damage was permanent. Jones never received his deserved gold medal during his competitive years. The stolen victory haunted him throughout his professional career. Park benefited from one of boxing's most infamous scandals without ever apologizing. He kept the medal that rightfully belonged to Jones, showing no integrity whatsoever. Roy Jones Jr. faced many challenges throughout his incredible boxing journey. These 10 opponents brought unique pain and frustration into his career. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Roy's biggest rivalries, hit that subscribe button and drop your thoughts in the comments section below.